Alright guys, coming back with another knife video today. I got a new package in the mail. It's another custom knife factory knife. That's 2 in a row, and I actually got another one on the way. So kind of trying out that brand. I haven't really had much from them. So let's take a look and see what got inside this pouch. I do love their packaging. Their pouches are great. This one came with all kinds of extras too. But let's look at this knife right here. Get your custom knife factory sticker, your certificate card here, which this is the Michael Gavko spinner, and here's this gorgeous knife. I've always been a fan of Gavko. I've had one Gavko knife. Wait, have I had two? I think I've actually had a Gavko custom, one of his first folders, and then I may have had a Ferrum Forge. I know I've had one pass through my hands before. So this is the collaboration with Custom Knife Factory and Gavko for his spinner model, and it is freaking awesome. So let's go over the basic specs real quick. You're looking at a blade length of 8 inches. Wow, that would be huge. Overall length of 8 inches with a blade of 3.54. Your blade thickness is 0.14, pretty standard. You have M390. The blade finish is a PVD, stonewash, and satin. So the PVD has been stonewashed, and then you have the satin flats up here. Plain edge with a handle length of 4.45 inches. Really like the size of the handle. It's really nice. Handle thickness is 0.43, so it's very slim. I love slim knives. Got a titanium full size backspacer here. You have a, like I said, does have a steel lock bar insert on the titanium frame lock. It is right hand tip up only. It is, the pocket clip is titanium, also milled. You have a, this is on bearings obviously. So those are your basic specs. One thing I want to point out before I get into my first impressions is all the stuff this came with. It comes with the pouch and the card, which is cool, and the little cloth, which is good. I always feel like if you're spending this much money in a knife, it's nice to have these little extras. But it came with this little bag of extra parts, which is so unique. I've never seen this before. So it came with an extra set of bearings, handles. I mean, it's literally got replacement parts for every part of this knife. You've got new bearings, a new lock bar insert, and new, it's got support washers on the frame for this, and then you've got new handle screws and everything. So you've got every replacement part. You got a new pivot right here, and a replacement pocket clip. That is freaking awesome. I don't know if Custom Knife Factory does that with all their knives. If you have purchased one from them before and received all that before, let me know. But that is really cool because you're spending a good amount of money on a knife like this. They sell these for $435, which, you know, is pretty on the high end of things. You do have a lot of intricate milling going on and M390 steel and really good fit and finish, but a lot of that is because this is a Gavko collaboration. So, you know, there's a reason why the price is as high as it is. Is it a little high? Yeah, but it's not unreasonable, I don't feel like. If you want to get a Gavko knife, you're going to be spending at least this much or more. I mean, you're going to be looking at a custom or a Ferrum Forge, which is going to be in the same ballpark. This action is smooth as glass. So smooth. So you're getting a lot for your money. Is my point. Is you get all this extra parts. I mean, this could last you a long time, because if you have to replace something, if you accidentally, you know, bend your pocket clip, or you know, something happens to, you lose a part when you're taking the knife apart to clean it, or I don't know, you have those extra parts. That's cool. You don't have to worry about getting them from Russia. So let's get some detailed close-ups here of this awesome starburst style pattern here, similar to a Wilson Combat Sabenza or Namazon. But then you have some really cool cratering all along the edges of this that kind of leads to the sunburst. That's really neat too. And that's on the top and the inside and outside of the handle. It's got a nice texture to it. It definitely adds to the grip of the knife. Gives you an extra grip. Let's look at the other side here. Lock side, same. starburst handle going. Let's see, it looks to be same direction, same kind of cratering up here and there. Even on the lock bar, which is cool, and even on the pocket clip, which is really cool. There's your space there on your pocket clip. Okay, so first impressions are awesome. This is an awesome knife. Like I said, I've always been a fan of Gavko's work, and remember when he was making YouTube videos all the time and doing stuff, mods on knives, and then all of a sudden he's, you know, making custom knives, and it's just been cool to see him come about. And this is one of his newer, the spinner. It seems like it's been around a little while. This is one you can see here. You have the serial number up there on the top, number 78, and then this shows your blade steel in 390. Fantastic. So first impressions are great. I'm loving it. I love the size. Let's do, since I mentioned size, let's do a comparison. I'm going to get out my XM18. It should be a little bigger. Yep, XM18 is a little larger in the handle. How about the MP1? Since we're in this price range, I like to compare it with like-sized or like-priced knives. The MP1 is very, very similar in size. Let's do the Neon, which is smaller. Not a lot smaller. Gavko's a titch longer in the handle. It's a lot lighter though. And then the ZT, not in the same price range, but same size. 808. Very, I mean, nearly identical in size. So, and we'll get a smaller knife. The Sabenza, small Sabenza Tanto. Let's do, just to show off this beautiful knife, which I've shown in videos before. Show off that awesome scale. You can see the small Sabenza is quite a bit smaller. So, I would consider this to be a medium-sized knife. It's not huge. I wouldn't even call it large. I would just call it medium. It's not small. Definitely fills the handle well, very well, and I've got, you know, a little bit of handle left there. Very ergonomic handle. One thing I will say about Gavko's knives that I've ever handled is they've always been very ergonomic. He really dials in the handles. They just feel super comfy in the hand, super comfy. Both grips. This grip and this grip and this grip. Yeah, really, really comfortable. He kind of does what Hinderer does in a way, where he uses the flipper tab and the design of the handle, and he kind of builds this little finger choil right up here for your finger to rest in. Same thing the Hinderer does on the XM18, and I want to say the MP1. Yeah. Very similar. So very similar there. And Hinderers are known to have extremely good ergonomics. So he's definitely, he does a similar approach, which I really, really like. So the blade shape is obviously a Tanto. I dig the Stonewash PVD. That looks really good with the satin flats. I really like that. You've got your Tanto grind here. Pretty pronounced Tanto. Kind of a harpoon Tanto. Similar. This is a good comparison knife today. There's a harpoon grind on the Spanto, the harpoon there. So you can see very similar there. So this is more rounded instead of being just a Tanto. So a harpoon Tanto blade shape. Very sharp from the factory. Reasonably thin behind the edge, not like overly thin, but not crazy thick. Now the opening hole is rather large. That's kind of, I mean, Gavko does that on all of his knives. And yes, you can use it to open. Now the D10 on this is definitely more towards flipping, so it is a little more difficult to open that way. Yeah, the D10 is pretty good on this guy. You can see how it sucks that in. So it's definitely meant more for flipping, but you can open it with the thumb hole, especially if you can keep your finger off the lock bar. You'll be able to, yeah, it's tough though. But you can do the middle finger flick as well. So if you want to do it that way, or do like a slow opening, you just got to overcome that detent. It's going to be a little more difficult to do. Centering is good. Action is, like I said, really good on this guy. Yeah, that thing's pretty awesome. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I got mine on the secondary market for quite a bit less than what they're selling for right now. They are available and in stock right now on Custom Knives Factory's website. And last one I ordered from them, the MCAT Farco, it came fast. It was like 7 to 8 days from Russia. So don't shy away from ordering from them because they're not slow on their shipping. So you do sometimes run into problems with customs going, from Europe to the U.S., or from Russia to the U.S. or any of the countries over there in that area. But for the most part, I've had good luck. So the pocket clip is definitely designed around the knife, not necessarily for ease of, not saying it's not ease of use, but it's definitely more integrated into the design than just a pocket clip they slapped on here is kind of what I'm saying. Sometimes you get like a nice design, and then like a ZT, you'll just throw on this clip, and you're like, ugh, So it's nice to see that. Carries in the pocket. I've just got some shorts on. It slips in there really nice and easy. You've got a good gap, and you've got enough bend spring in this that you shouldn't have any problems. It shouldn't be too stiff. My one hang up with milled clips is typically they're a little stiff, and you sometimes have the difficulty to get them in and out of your pocket. So that is not the case. The clip is perfectly placed and well designed. It does not interfere. It does not cause any hot spots. So the design of this knife is awesome. It's fantastic. You're basically getting a Gavko Michael's custom design spinner here for a lot less money than a custom, and with good quality manufacturing from Custom Knife Factory. Now, a little bit more about Custom Knife Factory that I found interesting is they do have a CNC machine shop in China where they send most of their knives, but then they hand assemble them and sharpen them and everything, and the blade finishes and such are typically done in Russia. So just the CNC machining is done overseas, and then everything is hand assembled and made in Russia. So that's essentially, these are essentially all mid-tech knives because you're CNCing it out, bringing it in. I don't believe Gavko's touched these. I think you don't know if you'd call it a Gavko mid-tech, but kind of how that and that whole. I don't want to get into that whole definition thing, but knowing that these go out to be CNC machined, they're not all made in China. They're actually just CNC'd in China, and then they are hand assembled in Russia, and a lot of the finishing work and such is done there. So they're really just outsourcing their CNC machining, which a lot of companies do anyway, unless they're CNC machining them and right on site like a ZT or Chris Reeve or something. So or Hinderer. So your price range is up there. It is on the higher end of production knives. It's up there with this Chris Reeve. It's up here with the Hinderer, and the quality is really good. I mean, the price point is not too high for the quality. Would I like to see it a little lower? Of course I would, and that's why I bought it on the secondary market for quite a bit less. But if you're in the market and you're on the fence. Do I spend that much? I find myself always saying, "Oh, that's as much as another Chris Reeve or Hinderer." Yes, the quality is there, and I would not shy away from spending this kind of cash on one, especially when it's designed by, this kind of designed by Gavko. The opportunity to own a spinner for pretty good price is definitely worth it in my opinion. So. That's my first impressions on the Gavko Custom Knife Factory spinner. Any questions or comments, let's leave them down below, and we will see you on the next video.